Namaste. In this podcast, I have talked about this Guru Rahu conjunction that is happening on 1st of June 2023. There are many insights that I have shared in this podcast. Always remember, the conjunction that you have in your chart is a continuation of your past life karmas. So if you have a very bad, challenging, unholy conjunction in your chart, then you have to work. You have to work towards ensuring that in the next birth you come with a better conjunction, with a positive conjunction. There is no need to get upset. All you have to do is to accept the fact that in last birth you committed many mistakes, maybe many sins, but you have got an opportunity this birth, and so you should not let go this opportunity. Use this opportunity towards your self-growth. As you focus on your self-growth, the conjunctions start providing positive results. There is always scope for change. That's why birth and rebirth happens. So even though Guru Rahu conjunction is a very challenging conjunction, if you have some supportive, positive placement of other planets, then definitely you can make a difference. You can overcome this difficult, challenging conjunction of Guru Rahu. So there is much in this podcast. Let's begin. Guru is Vivek. Vivek means having a good sense of judgment. A man who has a very powerful, strong Guru in his chart is always addressed as Vivekashil. A Vivekashil person is a rational person who makes decision based on his awareness. He is not an emotional fool. He has the wisdom of understanding what is right and what is wrong, and he always follows the path of righteousness. He is a faithful man who understands the language of gratitude. Such a man is a beautiful man. Rahu is like a ghost whose many wishes have remained unfulfilled, and so he is all fired up to satisfy his intense desires. And so when Guru comes in contact with Rahu, these intense desires blocks the consciousness of the person, and then the person makes wrong decisions and many a times may also get cheated by others, or he himself may cheat others to satisfy his intense desires. Desires lead to many miseries, and so when Rahu shadows Jupiter, or when Rahu Jupiter conjuncts, then the person tends to dig his own grave, meaning he creates his own problems because of the desires that drive him crazy. Now, even in this unholy, corrupt conjunction, there is a ray of hope. That ray of hope is based on the sign that Rahu occupies. If the sign is Virgo, Gemini, Taurus, Libra, Capricorn, or Aquarius, and the Lord of this sign is placed positively, then it signifies that the desires are of high quality, good quality. and the person may succeed in attaining his desires or goals in life. So, in simple words, whenever Rahu Guru conjunction happens in Virgo, Gemini, Taurus, Libra, Capricorn, or Aquarius sign, and if the Lord of this sign is placed in good house, then the person will do well in his material life and will attain much wealth and fame. And so, as a matter of fact, many rich and famous people are born with this conjunction. However, please note that being rich means not that you are a good person, that you have a good character. Having lots of money has nothing to do with quality of life. And so, even though if this conjunction happens in the signs that I mentioned, still the after effect of this conjunction always remains, meaning the person may achieve much wealth and fame, but he may also secretly indulge in corrupt practices. Along with Guru Rahu, if Venus is afflicted and 7th house Lord is associated with malefic, then the person may become a sex maniac. His sexual urge will drive him crazy. He will look out for more and more sexual pleasures. Michael Jackson, Madonna are some of the examples of such a conjunction, in which, along with Guru Rahu conjunction, their Venus is also afflicted, causing too many sexual encounters and sexual allegations. When Guru Rahu conjunction is found with a poor moon and poor Mercury placement, then you will find someone as cruel as Joseph Stalin. Stalin had his moon in the 8th house, and his moon was in Virgo sign. Stalin was the founder of Soviet Russia, and during his tenure he killed over 40 million people. Many were executed, many froze and perished in forced labor camps. Many died of starvation during the massive famines, and he designed as punishments for the disobedient. So you see why Guru Rahu is addressed by ancient seers as Guru Chandal Yug, because this conjunction simply blocks the consciousness of the person, and the person does so many cruel acts in the state of ignorance that he have to pay heavily in the next birth and the births beyond. Stalin became world famous leader. Madonna, Michael Jackson became world famous celebrities. But behind this glamour and power, there is much corruption and cruelty that the world at large is unable to see. And so this conjunction is therefore a perfect sign of a hypocrite person. Many pundits and scholars are born with this placement, but most of them are fake hypocrites. In rare case, when Jupiter is Vargottam, or Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, or Jupiter is placed in the 10th house or 1st house with Moon, Sun or Mercury, then the negative effects of this conjunction tone down to a large extent. Else there is no hope. There is no hope. The native may become rich, but that certainly doesn't change his reality. He remains a corrupt person, a hypocrite. It is necessary to remember that life never comes in black and white format. There are always grey shades in human life. Similarly, just one bad conjunction cannot define you as a good or bad person. It may give a certain idea of a loose or bad character, but by chance, if there are some other good conjunction or placements in the chart, then the overall prediction may come out positive. So one has to look into all the planetary aspects before concluding. However, at large, this conjunction is indeed a very unholy conjunction. I think after Shani Rahu conjunction, this is the second unholy conjunction in astrology. It also signifies Pitru Dosh, and relations with father or fatherly figures are always stressed, and the person generally is unable to experience peace, bliss, and joy in life. This conjunction happens after every 9 or 10 years. So this is indeed a significant conjunction that signify a problematic child who is bound to cause much harm to others as well as to himself by living an ignorant life. Many a times this conjunction may also attract more curse in life. So when this conjunction happens, blessings are less and curses are more. It is indeed a very difficult conjunction. In a woman's chart, this conjunction can lead to severe problems in marriage, and the husband is not a good character, and the husband is also offensive and abusive by nature, especially if the woman's 7th house lord and sun is afflicted. Black magic is one peculiar trend of this conjunction. If this conjunction has any connection with 6th, 8th or 12th house, then definitely this person may become a victim of black magic spell, or the person himself may indulge in casting black magic spells on others. Now, in the coming days of June 2023, this unholy conjunction is happening, and so you all, and I say this only to my close followers, that you all should remain cautious and try not to fall for any temptations. During such a phase, many people are cheated, many people become a victim of black magic spells, many people die in accidents, road accidents, and many people also become a target of political games. Terrorists may become active during this phase and can cause much harm to innocent people. And so governments across the world should remain vigilant. This year 2023, as per Vedic astrology, the unholy conjunction of Jupiter Rahu is happening on 1st June 2023, and the impact of this conjunction will remain for the entire month of June 2023. So you all should remain cautious. Do not let your desires drive you crazy. Neem Karoli Baba says, if you have a desire of drinking a cup of tea, don't drink, and after a while the desire will go away. The message of the Master is that if you don't entertain your desires, then after a while those desires will disappear. However, the main challenge is not falling for your desire, and only that man or woman can become victorious who is chanting daily, who is reading the holy scriptures of his religion, who is taking efforts towards his self-growth. To such a man, to such a woman, controlling desires becomes easier, because desires are of the mind, and through consistent spiritual practice you can control your mind, and when mind comes in your control, desires can be controlled easily than otherwise. So, Guru Rahu conjunction is not a difficulty for good heart spiritual people who do daily chanting and daily meditations. I always encourage the practice of reciting the holy scriptures or reciting the shlokas or stotras. Shlokas are like sermons, so along with chanting and meditation, one should also recite shloka daily. Consistency is important. Whether you recite for 10 minutes or 100 minutes is not important. What is important that you recite every day and you maintain consistency in your spiritual practice. When people say that I chant today and then I take a break of 2 days, it means that they are falling prey to the fancies of their mind. And this is dangerous, and there is no other way than to tame your mind. Remember, mind is a beautiful servant, but a dangerous master. Never ever make your mind as your master. Always try to make your mind a servant, a slave. Enough for now. I will be back soon. Thanks to all those who love me as well as to all those who hate me. It is interesting to know that when you hate someone, you always remember that person. That person remains in your mind, and someday hate can transform into love. So it is okay to have haters, but it is very unfortunate to have hypocrites who smile on your face, but as soon as you turn your back, they start criticizing and abusing you. It is always good to have a person who is truthful. Then no matter whether he hates you, one day this truthfulness may transform him, may change his perspective towards you, and he may start loving you. That's how Saul was. Saul used to hate Jesus. He was so anti-Christ that his whole life was devoted to destroying Christians and Christianity. His whole dedication was to persecute Christians, destroying any possibility of Christianity for the future, and effacing the name of Christ. He must have hated tremendously. His hate cannot be ordinary. When you devote your whole life to the object of your hatred, it is bound to be really total. Otherwise, who cares? If you hate something, you don't devote your whole life to it. But if you hate totally, then it becomes a life and death problem. Persecuting Christians, destroying Christians, destroying their power holds, arguing with Christians, convincing them that this was nonsense, that this man Jesus was mad, a neurotic, a pretender. And one day it happened. The miracle happened. He was going to persecute more Christians in another town. And on the way he was alone. And suddenly he saw Jesus appearing out of nowhere and asking him, "Why do you persecute me?" Out of shock, terror, he fell on the ground, crying great tears of repentance. The vision disappeared, and with the disappearance of the vision, the old Saul disappeared. To remember this point, he changed his name to Paul. The old man was dead. A new man had arrived, and he became the founder of the Christian church. He became a great lover of Jesus, the greatest lover the world has ever known. Hate can become love. Jesus did not appear. It was just the intensity of his hate that projected Jesus. It was not Jesus who asked him, "Why do you persecute me?" It was his own unconscious which was suffering so much because of this hatred for Jesus. It was his own unconscious that asked him, "Why do you persecute me?" It was his own unconscious that became personified in the vision of Jesus. The miracle happened because the hate was total. Whenever anything is total, it turns into its opposite. This is a great secret to be remembered. Whenever something is total, it changes into its opposite because there is no way to go any further. The cul-de-sac has arrived. Watch an old clock with a pendulum. It goes on and on. The pendulum goes to the left, to the extreme left, and then there is a point beyond which it cannot go. Then it starts moving towards the right. Opposites are complementaries. If you can suffer your suffering in totality, in great intensity, you will be surprised. Saul becomes Paul. You will not be able to believe it when it happens for the very first time, that your own suffering, absorbed willingly, welcomingly, becomes a great blessing. The same energy that becomes hate becomes love. The same energy that becomes pain becomes pleasure. The same energy that becomes suffering becomes bliss. And so, I am okay if someone hates me. One day, when his hate becomes total, then there will be no way than to come back. That is how people come back. First they will hate you, and then when their hate becomes total, then there is no point beyond, then they start moving towards the right. This is the way of its happening. This is how it happens. Millions of haters have transformed into lovers, great lovers. Love is the path. There are many ways to reach God. I choose love, says Rumi. And so it is okay to hate someone, but never become a hypocrite. That is the biggest curse, a perfect ticket to hell. Jai Sri Ganesha, Jai Guru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.